like to do is put on regular rubber bands. This is square rubber bands, come in multitude of colors. You usually see it on a spinnerbait type lure for bass fishermen. Same stuff, synthetic or live rubber. I prefer the live rubber. But anyway, I wrap the thread on here, and if you'll notice where my thread's hanging is right just about where that hook point is. That's going to be my starting point. And a lot of tires, they'll wrap all the way down the hook shank. So if you can remember to stop at this point, that's going to be my balance point for the whole fly. And that's where I'm going to get my balance and going to get my proportions. And that's the two main things I like to emphasize is balance and proportion on any fly that you tie to get the right length and the right amount of hair and to make it work for you. So what I'm going to do, I'll take that rubber and I'm going to make 3 wraps right here. Okay, I'm going to pull it up, I'm going to double it back. I'm going to grab it right on top and I'm going to stretch it. I'm pulling on it to make it come right on down that hook shank. And I'm going to come back to right about pretty close to the barb of that hook, right in front of it. Okay? I'm going to come back to my starting point and let it hang. Right about the same point that where I started, right in front of that hook. Match them up and we put where they're concave back together. So we have like a little kicking motion. And what this does is when you strip that fly, these little feathers are going to move in and out. And this is what is going to imitate your frog legs. And this is regular saddle hackle that comes off the back of some unforsaken chicken that got his feathers plucked for this reason. And us fly tiers just love to have chicken feathers. I'm going to cut these off, and if you'll notice, get them married up here. They're going to be a little bit longer, almost the same length as that hook shank, from the top of the eye all the way to the tail. Okay? I'm going to hold them like this, and I'm going to switch them over to my left hand. I'm going to cut off the scragglies. I'm going to come back to that same midpoint where that thread is. Lay it right on top, come up and grab it with a loose wrap. And I'm going to still hold it. I'm going to pinch it down a little bit. I'm going to wind back a few turns, a little bit tighter turns, seal it in. And you can put your finger in here and kind of cock these around and move them and make them splay out for you where they'll kick for you. And I like to just raise them up just a little bit where they're a little bit cocked up in the air. Not a whole lot, but if you can see that. Okay. And what I want to do, this is a whip finish. I go over and under, and this is how I seal this off. I'm going to switch threads. I'm going to go to a different thread to spin the hair. Now, a lot of tiers ask me, well, how are you going to spin hair on that thread ball right there? Which can be a problem, but I'm going to put a drop of cement and seal all that in. Well, I'm going to show you a little trick. The deer hair that we use for spinning is not the regular deer hair that you normally see here in Texas. This hair comes from your northern woodland whitetail, which is up in Canada and Michigan in the colder part of the states. You know, because of the thickness of the hair, we want it more coarse to where we can actually spin it and work with it. So a lot of times tiers will come up and ask me, well, my hair didn't spin right. You know, well, the majority of the time they're using the wrong type of hair. So if you, now my trick to, you'll see these are a little bit uneven. What this is, I put them in my little stacker here. I just tuck them down in there. And we give it a few taps. And they come out even. Okay. Take them and hold them. I'll get rid of these curved scissors. I'm going to take my straight scissors, cut off the ends. Now if you can see where my thumb is, to my thumb and forefinger, this is going to be about the halfway point of this hair. And when I fold this up, this is going to be going to splay on one side. Well, here's the trick. I'm going to put on this gel spun polyethylene thread, and this thread has a breaking strength of about 8 pounds, so I can put a lot of pressure on it. Now the camera's right over my shoulder, so I'm going to do this twice. What you're going to see is I'm going to put the hair on this one side right here, straight against the hook shank. I'm going to take 3 wraps, and I'm holding this, and I'm going to pull straight back and down. That's one side of the tail, okay? I repeat the process. Now he's not going to be able to see this, but I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to put it on your viewing side right against the shank of that hook. And I'm going to come back up right through the center point of that thread wrap. And I'm going to come right over it. I'm going to take 2 wraps, and I'm going to squeeze and pull toward me. Okay? Now that's just about got it all the way around that hook shank. I didn't have to actually spin the hair around it. And this is sitting on top of my thread base. Okay? I'm going to make a wrap and take my forefinger, thumb, middle finger, brush this hair back, squeeze it, hold it tight, come straight down, take 2 wraps, come over, and throw my half hitch on it. You'll see this little funny looking thing hanging down. This is my little hair packer. I put it on my wrist where I don't have to pick it up and set it down. I know where it's at. I come in here and I pack that hair. Now that little rubber band, that point, is my stop point, and it's also my balance point, okay? So what happens is that's my little bumper. So any hair that I spin from here down is going to be my collar and my head of that fly.